everyone, Helen here. I just wanted to jump on here really quickly to talk about the relationship between dieting, the starvation response, and binge eating. This mini presentation on the starvation response is for you if you've tried all the diets out there but always end up failing. You might be doing so well during the day, eating only salads and chicken breasts, but then nighttime comes and then you are stuffing yourself with chocolate, cake, popcorn, pizza, and all that. I'm gonna tell you in the next few minutes why this is not your fault and why it happens no matter how hard you try. In the last week, I've had the opportunity to speak to a few ladies who've been trying to stop binge eating for many years. But even though they agree that dieting is causing them to binge, there's still some resistance to stopping dieting, which I think is understandable, because they've been doing it for so long, but they're not sure how to eat otherwise. But ditching dieting is the only way that you can actually stop binge eating. So that's why I just want to take a few minutes of your time today to bust some myths and talk about the impacts of the starvation response. So a bit of my backstory. I personally was also stuck in this binge restrict cycle for more than 10 years. I started dieting when I was very young. When I was in primary school, I'd often skip meals and every day I'd give away my breakfast and lunch to my friends. I did well during the day, but then at night I was ravenous and I couldn't sleep, and once everyone else was asleep, I'd sneak into the kitchen and ate every single thing in the food cupboard. And then obviously to hide that, I had to buy all the snacks back so that no one would notice. But then the following night, I'd finish all that again. So this went on for more than 10 years, because we've always been told, eat less and move more and you will lose weight, right? But I tried hard. I tried all sorts of diets, but I didn't lose any weight. Nothing worked. I just kept gaining weight because I didn't have the willpower, and I couldn't stick to any diet, and I just couldn't stop binge eating. I had always thought that it was a willpower problem, but it's not. I was so desperate to lose weight, and that's what prompted me to learn more about nutrition and how the body works. And that's when I realized that there are so many misconceptions and so many lies that the diet industry has told us, one of which is the starvation response. So tell me in the comments below what your perception of the starvation response is. At the beginning of this video, I promise I'll let you know why your past attempts have failed. And here's what you need to know about the signs of the starvation response, so that you know it's the reason all your past attempts have failed. So binge eating or overeating in general is likely a result of the starvation response, and the starvation response is a result of dieting. So dieting causes the starvation response, and the starvation response causes binge eating. When you are not eating enough to meet your body's needs, your brain and your body go into survival mode. And the starvation response isn't just about not being able to lose weight. It involves a lot of processes in the brain and in the body, your hormones, homeostasis, and all that. We go into more detail about that in the Stop Binge Eating Program. But for the purpose of this mini training, I just want you to know that part of what the starvation response does is to make you eat, to make you look for food. And the starvation response can ruin your dieting efforts in many different ways, but I'll focus on 3 of them here today. First, you think about food all the time. You are obsessed. Maybe food is the only thing you can think about. You may be unable to focus on your job, and all that you can think about is what you are having for dinner, what you can have, how many calories that would be, what exercise you need to do to burn off that calories. Maybe you even had nightmares about binging and then you wake up panicking about whether you actually binge or not. These are all very common experiences. Another thing that this natural protective mechanism does to your body is you have more cravings. And sometimes these urges and cravings may even feel like a compulsion. And because of the compulsive nature to it, you're probably not just having one cookie. You probably have the whole bag. And now because you've ruined your diet, you might even have that cake and that bag of chocolate, that type of ice cream, and the brownies and the crepes and the leftovers in the fridge as well. Your thoughts about food become very black and white, and once you start, you can't stop. And the third way that I want to focus on today is you never really feel satisfied. You're always craving for more. Like maybe you actually feel physically full, but that fullness just doesn't register with your brain. And because you are not satisfied mentally, you keep eating and eating till way past the point of feeling full. These starvation response symptoms don't just happen when you are on specific diets like keto, or maybe a meal replacement diet, or calorie counting. Even if you are just trying to eat healthy or eat clean, you are still judging your food. You are labeling your food as good or bad. And these so-called healthy eating plans encourage you to be scared of certain food or food groups and avoid them completely. And all these judgments trigger the diet thoughts, and they still activate the survival mechanism in your body. So to get out of survival mode, you really need to start feeding your body regularly, so that it starts trusting that there will be constant access to food again, and that it won't be deprived again. And the 3 + 2 + 0 structure is always a good starting point, because it mimics how a non-dieter would approach food and the times that they'd actually feel hungry during the day. At this point, you can't trust your hunger and fullness cues. So if you haven't downloaded my free guide yet, I really urge you to do so after you finish this video. The idea is simple, but for some people they might need a bit of extra help in implementing the structure, or to just get over that mental block of not dieting. If that's the case for you, shoot me a PM and we can talk more. I'm also offering a short-term package to help you put this into practice before I reopen the Stop Binge Eating Program for enrollment in July. So that's it for this mini training. Let me know in the comments if any of these symptoms resonate with you. I hope you found this video helpful, and I'll talk to you again soon.